For many of you out there, this will be the most valuable video on approaching that you will ever watch. It will save you years of wasted time and effort because I'm going to dismantle and destroy one of the most common opening lines that guys are using in 2024 and 2025. And how do I know this is just so common? Well, in the last 3 months alone, my girlfriend has been approached by guys using this exact same line every single time. And then last night I was with one of my friends and I was chatting to his girlfriend, and it turned out some other guy had used the exact same thing on her. So let me run you down what happened for her. She was just chilling out in the mall and going about shopping, and she noticed this guy that was sort of like edging over. And he sort of came over and sort of stood in front of her, opened his mouth and simply said, "Can I get your Insta?" She was just kind of like taken aback, stared at him for a second and was just like, no, and then went on about her day. And this was the exact same thing that had been happening to my girlfriend over and over, where it might not be Insta, but I group them all together. It would be like, "Can I get your Snap?" That was one of the ones that she had while sat on a bench. Or a guy just going over and asking her for a number. And I'll put it to you, the sort of would-be dating coaches out there watching this. Why is it just so catastrophic to go over there and just ask immediately for a number, a contact, some form of getting in touch and some kind of exchange? Well, I've isolated 3 reasons why I think it is just so bad. 1, it suggests you have really low standards. If all you do is see a girl walk over and immediately want her number, it says to this girl, the only thing I am judging you on is the very brief glance that I've seen you at. That's it. I don't know anything about your personality. I don't know if you're a horrible person. Nothing. Like, that is the only thing I've judged you on. And do you know who does that? Men who don't have options. Men who will be happy that just one girl who is somewhat attractive has taken an interest in him. That is all it takes, and that's all she needs for him to engage with her. So it suggests you just have really low standards by going in with that. No girl just wants to feel like it was just such an easy win. So that's the first reason why it's just an awful approach to go for as your opening line. Secondly, it communicates you have no understanding about women whatsoever. Because think about it. If you're going over there, you're asking for a contact, expecting her to do that exchange, and then what, just turn up on a date with you. That's all she knows about you. She's gone over, got maybe your Instagram or a number, and she's going to turn up on a date with a random guy she knows nothing about. It just shows that you're not around women. You do not understand their problems. Like, for a woman to turn up on a date with a guy is like the bravest thing in the world, because they're incredibly vulnerable with that. And the thought that she's just going to do it because you went over there and said, "Oh, can I get your Insta?" Like, it's simply not going to work, and it communicates to her that you're just so in your own head and in your own world about what you want that you don't even consider them, which she just finds unattractive. Then, thirdly, it's just kind of ineffective, because let's say you meet this sort of like 1 in 100 girl that does actually give you her contact, her Snap, whatever, maybe her Insta. Then what are you expecting to happen? Like, women make their decisions based on emotional reactions and emotional connection. Are you thinking that your like dank meme you're going to send her 2 weeks down the line is going to have a greater emotional reaction with her than just having a real, honest, authentic conversation with her at the time, where there is all of that energy of who is this person, that intrigue, that interest that you're sharing, versus the random message you send maybe later on, or thinking that your standard like boys trip to Tenerife photos that you've got on your Insta profile are going to make her swoon. Simply put, it's just like an ineffective approach. This is why I speak to my clients and reinforce so often the purpose of approaching is not to get numbers. It's not to go over there and just collect them like bloody infinity stones of all these numbers. The point is to go get a connection, to meet somebody, connect with them, build a level of trust, because it's a really hollow victory if you get a number, just because like you went in and got that number, because she's just never going to meet you. The two primary things that we have to build when we go over an approach is a level of trust and a sense of connection, that sense of like attractive connection between the two of you. And this is what a guy needs to master if he's going in for that, if he's going to learn the skill of approaching. And that's why that same girlfriend that I'm dating now, I met her through approach. So it's clearly not like, oh, she just doesn't go out with guys she met on the street. Like some of those guys that went over, she got approached earlier that day before I went up and met her. So she's clearly open to it, but it takes having just the knowledge of what women are looking for. They're looking for someone that's going to go over to them, speak to them in such a way that they feel like they can trust him. They would take that gamble of going to meet him based on the connection that they made together. So if you want to know what I suggest you say instead, what I tell all of my clients to do to be able to build the connections, to meet women in person that get success time and time again, then check out this video where I detail the first step and how you can master it to start meeting women on the street and making amazing connections.